Okay, good afternoon. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Just comment that you can see my screen, even if it's on the group. Oh, really? Let me change that. I was just told the video is on private. Apologies. Um, Apparently, I don't know. Some of us are having difficulty joining the class, and I don't know why. It's showing that it's private. Okay. All right. So someone has gotten access. I'm sure you can hear me now. Please let me know if you can hear me so we can go on. And also if you can see my slides. Please let me know if you can hear me and if you can see my slides so we can proceed. Um, I'm still waiting. Okay, okay, so I'm getting comments. All right, then. So I think we are good to go. Thank you guys for joining. Sorry for the delay. I don't know. Apparently, I have to. In fact, it wasn't even on private, so I'm quite surprised that you said you weren't hearing me initially. We've already lost six minutes. So let's just see what we can do with the hour that we have. Right. 1 second. Let me silence my computer so it does not uh, distract us. All right. So today we're going to be talking about the core tools and time management tools for virtual assistants, right? Last week we talked about virtual assistants, we talked about who they are, what they do, people that need them, the different niches. You also took your courses that also talked about other things. Like I think I heard Anu talk about coaches, and heard Nick talk about something else. I don't remember, but yes, the accountability call on Friday was really really encouraging. So thank you guys, right? And well done. I hope we keep up with this momentum. If we do, trust me, it's going to be a really wonderful journey. So this is just a continuation of last week's conversation. Core tools and time management tools for virtual assistants. Excuse me. So the first core tool that we'll be talking about is Google Docs, right? So Google Docs, you find it in your Google Workspace. I'm sure we already know what the Google Workspace looks like. Even if you can check the group, you see a picture of a Google Workspace. It's just what you have any Chrome browser, which is like you could have it in any other browser, but Chrome browser is like the most is the best, is the one that I will best refer to people because they are both optimized because Google owns Gmail and Google Workspace, so it's easier to navigate it. So if you have the Chrome browser, you have access to all these tools. So I'm going to be talking about the key ones that are really, in fact, every all of them are important, and in the course of our work, you'll be doing your hands-on projects with them, right? But I'll talk about the key ones that you need as a virtual assistant. Number one is Google Docs, like I said, and it is for creating, editing, client documentation. So, whatever your employer might need or your client might need, you need to be able to edit documents, send PDFs immediately, edit documents, send PDFs immediately. I'll give you a hack. It is way easier to edit documents on your laptop, but it's faster to convert them into PDF or Word or slides with your phone. So download Google Docs as an app on your phone so that you can just automatically create PDF documents and Word documents to send to clients and the sorts. It really saves time, right? You can just send it to WhatsApp and you're good to go. So use Google Docs to also write blogs. In fact, everything that has to do with like typing, if you have a printer in the office, you use Google Docs to like actually write the documents, right? Some people prefer MS Word and the rest, but I'm just saying for that team collaboration, it's Google Docs at the best because with this, you can send live links, right? You send me a live link, I come and see the document, I can edit the document, right? Same goes for literally every tool on this Google Workspace. That collaboration is key. So you can create documents with it, you can create SOPs with it for your clients, blogs, drafts, meeting minutes, whatnot. So, another tip I'm going to give is that when you're using Google Docs, let's say you're practicing or you're writing a document, try to use the suggestion mode. You set it on suggestion mode. This way, it helps for easier collaboration. That way, other when you send the link, other people can edit the document, right? So, very advantages of Google Docs. It enables clean and collaborative documents, right? Editing and also the version control. Like I said, with your phone, you can send a document in PDF, you can send it in Word, you can send it in docs, So it depends on the version that you want to send to the client. Then the second tool is Google Sheets. That's another very important tool that every um, virtual assistant has to know. It is so important because sheets are extremely important, right? Sheets are where you keep information about clients, where you keep information about sales, keep information about finances, where you keep information. It just it's the go-to document, right? So most of the time they will even say make sure you learn how to work with sheets before you learn how to work with anything else. Right. So sheets are really, really important. So you can use sheets, like I said, to manage budgets, to track projects, to maintain leads, to create databases. Okay. And the best way to practice with Google Sheets is learn how to apply filters and templates. If you go on Google Sheets, on the far right side, you will see the template option. Please let me know if you have issues finding it so that I can send you a screenshot, right? You will see a template option and it has different templates. When I say different templates, I mean templates for, in fact, let me just share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think that would be better for you guys. One second. All right, please let me know if you can hear me and if you can see my screen. Let me know if you can hear me and if you can see my screen so I can proceed. Just type I can hear so I can go on. Thank you. So I know if my sound and my screen sharing are on together. Okay. Thank you, Christiana. Okay, so this is your Google Workspace. This is what I'm talking about, right? And like I said, it has everything. I'll give a quick overview. This is your account. Now, by account, it's just oh look, I have some issues with my password. Let me just skip that. Your account is basically all your information, right? And then after your account, I need to change my password. Okay, so after account, we have the drive. So drive is like your online document or your online cabinet, file cabinet, right? So you can upload videos, you can upload audios, you can upload PDFs, you can upload documents because we know that life is very uncertain, right? So everything has to be saved on the cloud. That's another wonderful thing about the Google document, Google Slides, everything. It automatically saves because you can't even access them. You can edit without internet, but once your internet is on, it automatically saves the document. So even if you lose your laptop or you lose your phone, God forbid, you still have access to these things, right? All you have to do is just log in to your Gmail into your Gmail address, and you have access to your email, Google Workspace. So that's why it's important. All your important information, everything should be kept in the Google Workspace, right? Then, so that's the use of the Google Drive. Then we have the Business Profile Manager. That's Google My Business. That's where you manage like the pictures, the videos, all that. I haven't set it up yet, so it's going to be like this, right? Okay. Then the next tool here in your Google Workspace is your Gmail. Now, Gmail is Google Mail, and everybody knows that it is the most popular. Everybody knows that it is the most popular, what's it called? Email platform in the world right now, right? As much as it's important, along the line, you advise people to along the line you invite people to get like personal mails for their from their websites. Gmail is the most popular, right? So yeah, sorry about that. I should not have shown my email like that. Anyways, so proceeding, the Google emails is where you get emails. You give your email address to people, and that's where you access it the easiest. You have YouTube here, you have Gemini, which is like a free chat GPT, right? So I'm just going to quickly show you how to use Gemini. Like I said, it's like a free chat GPT. So you can say, let's say a client tells you, "Oh, Christiana, I need you to work on an itinerary for my mother. She's coming to Lagos and I'm going to be busy. So I need you to create something that's going to be fun for her. She's 50, right? So that's the instruction they've given you. And you know that most of the time, nobody's going to be giving you something that is tight. You just be like an email or a call or a voice message, right? So you're the one that now has to pick out the important points. Now, I don't know if any of you have picked out the important points from what I said. What I said, number one, the key point is okay, um, my mother-in-law. So you say, I am a virtual assistant. Now, in prompting, it's important to state what you are first. Okay. So, when you state what you are first, it now helps you properly prompt. So, you say, I'm a virtual assistant and my employer's mother is coming into Lagos from, let's say, Aba, right? Uh, my employer is busy with- and wants me to plan an itinerary for her mom for a week, right? You can also give ideas. Maybe she will give you an idea, or you might even be the one to give an idea. So you can say self care, like then self care, you can say makeovers, you can say bed and breakfast, you can say tours, etc. Now you've given it a line to go with, right? One thing about prompting is the more detailed your prompt is, the more detailed your answers will be. Okay. So now we're giving it the itinerary ideas and everything. Sorry, I didn't spell itinerary properly. Now the next thing is telling the AI how old she is, because age is also an important factor. She is 50 years, and you can even ask your employer, okay, what does she like? Right, what kind of food does she like? And all. So you can say, and she loves Caribbean and fine dining. So that is the prompt, right? If you see this, this is the prompt that we're giving to it to give us an itinerary. So I'm a virtual assistant. My employer's mother is coming into Lagos from Aba. My employer is busy with work and wants me to plan an itinerary for her mom for a week. Self care, makeovers, bed, breakfast, tours, etc. She's 50 years and loves Caribbean and fine dining. Now you see, if you can see, it's giving us like all the content, right? So if you see now, you see important note number one, bookings. It's telling you the important things you have to do as a virtual assistant, which is why it's important that you are told it that you are a virtual assistant, right? So first it said bookings, you need to make reservations in advance for most of these activities, especially the spas, restaurants, and tours. So that's a task that you have to complete to finish this task that your employer has given, right? Number two, transportation. Arrange for comfortable and reliable transportation throughout her stay. Ride sharing apps are common. Let me zoom my screen in a little bit so you can see better. So there's flexibility there as well. We have budgets because your employer has to say, oh, okay, this is my budget, right? But if your employer says, oh, go crazy, Christiana, you can do whatever you like. You can book anywhere. That's also great, right? So and then personal touch. We've told her as a virtual assistant, if you consider adding a small welcome gift in her room, right? Of something that you know that she likes because the employer has told you, it's also going to make her stay memorable. And trust me, that employer is not going to want to let go of you because people love personal touches. And that's a touch that you as a virtual assistant you have to bring into your work, right? So now this is the itinerary. Lagos itinerary, a week of pampering and exploration for Mrs. You add her name. I'm sure you know what your employer's name is. So, so you have it, right? So typically, you're asked to send a document to your employer with your Google Workspace. So you go on your Google Workspace and you open your Google Documents, which is where we already said you should create all documents, edit, send, right? So we have that. So we copy, that's a lot, and we paste. Always remember to name documents, very important. If you don't name documents, then it's not very professional of you right now, right? So, and always remember to edit as well because it's not also going to be a good look when you send documents and it has things from AI, okay? So that's why it's also important that you have attention to detail. There's no problem using AI, that's why it's there. But then you don't have to undermine your professionalism, okay? So you take off the AI parts Now this is the editing the document part, right? You take off the AI part, which I have done, and then you add the introduction part. Remember, it's always very important for you to be cautious, respectful, and professional every time. So it's going to be wrong to just send this document like that. Okay? So I don't think this part now is even for your boss. It's from the Lagos itinerary, right? So that's it. Then you go through it. Like I said, if you don't edit, there's the problem is. So you have to go through. So you're going through it. I don't really know Lagos so well, but maybe I'll say, I don't really think she's going to like this wheat baker. Because, yeah, there's explanation for everyone, which makes it way easier for your employer to pick from, right? But at the same time, they're like, I don't think I like this one. So if I don't like this one, you just remove it, right? They say, oh, I don't think I want her to go out in the evening to a Caribbean dinner, right? So you say, okay, no problem, sir. That's fine. You remove it. So it's as simple as that. That's the beauty of editing, right? Then once that's done, you always add the introduction. Your introduction can either be here, which is in this document, or you send it as an email, or you send it on WhatsApp. But always make sure there's a little introduction or a little summary of what you're sending. Hey, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Or good afternoon, ma'am. This is the itinerary I was able to come up with. Please let me know if you may want to make any changes. You don't just send the document like that. That's something we've noticed from our virtual assistants, and we don't want that to. We need to really address that as a strong point, as a weak point that we need to avoid, right? Then another Google Workspace tool is Maps. All of us know what maps are for. Use maps when you're driving, when you don't know the way somewhere. Then we have Google Search, which is a search engine when you're looking for keywords, especially if you're doing SEO. I'm sure the people that are doing digital marketing will understand that better. Then we have calendars for setting up meetings, and we have Meet for creating meetings or scheduling meetings. Let me give an example with Meet real quick. Okay, so to create a Meet, you get started. uh I don't want to upgrade. So you tap on new meeting, and then there's three options, right? There's a create meeting for later, which is like scheduling a meeting. And then there's scheduling Google Calendar, where it's, so let's say you want to create a meeting for later. You just copy the link and then you send it to people, right? Then if you want to start an instant meeting, that means you want to just start a meeting immediately. So if someone's like, hey, create a meeting now, let's have a meeting real quick. You start an instant meeting. But they say, oh, schedule a meeting for me in 2 weeks or in 1 week, right? That way you have to use the option of, excuse me, you have to use the option of schedule in Google Calendar. So when you tap on schedule in Google Calendar, it takes you to the calendar, and then you title it or you name it, right? So let's say it's called um so I set up this meeting, right? And I'm setting it up for today's to 21st, which is next Monday, and it's going to be from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., right? So you save it. And when you save it, you now see it on your calendar. And so when you can tap, you can just tap on it calendar, And when someone asks you, or in fact, you don't need to be asked, you need to send the meeting link immediately, right? So you copy and you send it. That's that for the Google Calendar. All right. So another tool in your Google Workspace is Google Translate, which is for translating languages that you don't understand, right? So maybe they buy something or you want to buy something on a website that's not in English. So let me give an example of that. So I think a website I know that in all Chinese is 1688. So in your 1688, you tap on it. There's usually when you already have the Google Translator plugin, you see the pop up. If you can see here, you can see a pop up here that says Chinese or English, right? That's on the top right of the screen. And then I change it to English, and that way the page changes from Chinese to English, right? So that's it. So you can understand what you're doing. And it's not an excuse that, oh, I don't understand the language, right? So that's that for Google Translate. Then Google Sheets, I already talked about this, very important. This is actually what brought us to this sharing of screen because I actually had like a slides and everything. Okay, so oh no. It's not what I wanted to open. Apologies. Now, like I said, these are some templates that you can use for sheets, right? So we have for scheduling, we have a to-do list. We know what a to-do list is. So if your employer says, "Oh, I need a to-do list real quick," and you just come here in 2 minutes. What's 2 minutes even small? 30 seconds, you're done. Because all you have to do is just edit all this content out and then share. Now, when you're sharing a sheet for someone else to be able to edit it, right? When you tap on share and it brings you to this page, you have to change the general access from restricted to anyone with the link. Okay? So when you say anyone with the link, you copy the link and then you save it. So that's it for sending a sheet, right? So like I said, there's a lot of templates, but these are not even the templates I wanted to talk to you guys about. So you go to blank spreadsheet. And like I said, on the right corner of this blank spreadsheet, you're going to find pre-built tables. Now these pre-built tables are really smart, like I said, for for different events. So we have this one like a normal blank table where all you have to do is just edit the column names. We have event tasks, project tasks, content tracker, products. There's just a lot, even for recruitment agencies. Event planning. If you're planning an event, this is for a guest list. This is for itinerary that we just created. This is for budget. So there's a lot, as you can see, right? So you don't have to start building from scratch. All this has been done by professionals. So all you have to do is just, okay, choose the one you want. Then I'm sure I think we're going to have a class on spreadsheets because I don't think we have the time for that today. Um, in the class, we'll now learn how to create drops, columns, and all that, right? So let's go back to the Google Workspace. All right, so next here, we have some other tools that we don't particularly use all the time. Okay, yeah, we use slides too. So slides are also important. And the beautiful thing about what is it called? The beautiful thing about Google is that it always has like, templates. So if you look here, this is the template. You see the template gallery, it has different templates. And all you have to do is just edit, right? Let's just all right. So that's it. Okay, so that's it s- for sheets, for slides rather. So you see, you edit all of it. If you need to add pictures, you add pictures. So adding pictures. Okay. So instead of copying, can't the recipient? Yes, it can. There are two ways. But when you're a virtual assistant, you need to make work as easy as possible and as convenient for the person you're working with. So their preferred communication method might be WhatsApp, right? So you have to like quickly send the WhatsApp link than sending an email, but it's the same thing at the end of the day, right? So I was talking about adding pictures. So for adding pictures, you just have to tap on an image, tap on replace image, then you upload from your computer. Um, I think some of the best websites that you can get really nice pictures. We have Pixabay. We have Pexels, and my favorite one is Pixabay. You're going to have see like a lot of pictures. Everybody's favorite one is Pinterest, but I don't really advise Pinterest most of the time because sometimes Pinterest photos are low quality. So if you want high quality photos, use Pixabay, use Pixels, and then my favorite one, like I said, is FreePic. FreePic pictures are like the best because they're like AI. So you will not see them in another person's design. See how fine and clean they are. You can even make videos. Don't worry, when we have our AI class, we'll teach you guys how to make this kind of videos. Right? So that's those are the three best platforms to get pictures, right? So free pick. And then if you're trying to create pictures of itinerary and you have to send like hotel pictures, beach pictures, you can always use Google, right? And search for those. All right, so moving on, let's go back to our slides, go back to where we started. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now because that was all the Google Workspace essential tools that you need, right? You can always play around with it. I always advise let Google Chrome be the first app you open every day on your computer. Everything you're doing, I'm sure you have seen how many thousand tabs I have open. That's because I do all my work on it. And I can go to sleep without saving anything because everything is automatically saved, right? So it's very convenient for a virtual assistant. All right, let's put our slides back up. All right, so we've talked about all these tools. Now let's talk about time management techniques. But before I move on, um, I think there's an assignment. Okay, maybe I'll give the assignment at the end of the class because I want to see how we can leave here by 4 p.m. sharp. Okay, so time management techniques. Like Christiana said that I said, she said time anytime you lose, it's gone for life. It's gone for good. You can't get it back. And it's very true. Time is your most valuable asset as a virtual assistant, especially if you're going to be doing more than one, working for more than one client or more than one agency. If you waste your time, you're wasting your money, right? So your ability to manage your time is the only thing that determines the value that you can give to your clients. So, we're going to quickly review key time management techniques that will help you work efficiently and avoid burnout. Number one, I've talked about this, it is time blocking. So, time blocking is allocating specific blocks of time to similar tasks. So, you say, excuse me, every 4 p.m., I'm going to send out emails. So, every 4 p.m., you send out emails, right? So you also have tools that help you automate what you do. So like using Google Calendar, when you use Google Calendar to plan your meetings, you don't have to think about that meeting again because it's going to automatically remind you, right? So all these things help you to focus on one thing at a time. Then we have the Pomodoro technique, which is simply focus work on an interval of time for X amount of break. So if you've worked in focus for 30 minutes straight, then you have like a 10-minute break, right? So you can use tools like Focus Finder. I think Focus Finder is in your Google Workspace. You can use it to keep your focus. Focus Keeper rather can help you keep your focus. Then we have Pomo Focus as well. You can also that can help you increase concentration. Excuse me. I hope I hope you guys can hear me. Okay. All right then. That's fine. Then we also have another technique. Let me check if it's here. Okay, yeah, we have it here, which is the Eisenhower matrix. The Eisenhower matrix it was actually invented by a German, and it's basically if you, I'm sure you guys can see my notes here. So it's basically categorizing tasks as urgent, right, or important, and to prioritize them. So when you have all the tasks you have to do, so let's say you're on a call, the morning calls or morning voice notes, those are the two important and easiest ways that you can communicate with your clients. So maybe they call you or they send a voice message because I always say voice is always better than when they type it out, and then you now type it out and confirm if that's everything they said, if they want to add, if they want to remove, right? And then you prioritize them according to what is important or what is more important because everything is important, right? And then you now label things, you now label them. So that is the Eisenhower matrix. It's still the same thing with the ABC prioritization method, but the ABC is basically labeling tasks. Like maybe A, you say A is for must do, B is should do, C is I don't really have to do, right? And so when you have all your tasks, you just have the A, B, C's next to them. No, somebody else is not going to understand what that is, but you now know that okay, every task that has A is something I must do maybe in the next 20 minutes or in the next 1 hour. So That way, it helps you prioritize your tasks. So remember, the goal is not to simply do more work. It's to focus on what is more important, right? And that way it helps you stay sustainable and also helps you stay strategic. Okay. So that's it for time management techniques. If I'm sure you're going to go deeper into it in your notes. So, but then if you need more explanation or notes about the four techniques I just talked about, just reach out. Now let's talk about email management and templates. Now, email is the primary mode of communication for virtual assistants. If it's not managed properly, it can be overwhelming because these days everybody's sending emails. You get emails from everybody. You go on the websites, you just mistakenly type something, your email has gotten into their mailing list. Bam, they send you emails every day. You're getting promotions, you're getting this one invitation from here. So you need to know how to structure and automate your email workflow. If not, it's going to become overwhelming, right? So some email management techniques. Let me see if I need to. Okay, yes. So some email management techniques. Number one, we have filters and labels. You see that in Gmail. So it's helps you automatically sort emails into categories such as clients, invoices, leads, so on and so forth. So that basically just helps you keep the inbox organized. And if prioritized messages come into the email, it goes to important. When you open your email, even if you have 1,000 emails, you just have to go to the important ones and see what's important. And because it's also in different categories, it's easy for you to now access them. So filtering and labeling emails are very important. If you need like a practical um video or explanation on this, reach out to Sharon. Just beg her, maybe with a bottle of malt, and she's going to like make a video for you on how to properly sort and filter and label on Gmail. Then we also have canned responses. So canned responses, we have those like Gmail templates. Um, when you're sending an email, you can save the templates. Sometimes too, when you're typing an email, you see that it suggests. I don't know if it's for everyone though, but I know that it suggests to complete the email for you. And so you can also save responses to some emails so that when you have like maybe someone wants to book an appointment or someone wants to you want to send an invoice reminder, you already have them. That's another use too for your Google Docs. If you go to your Google Docs, you can save scripts, right? So you have scripts for everything and they are properly named. So you want to send to a client, all you have to do is just go copy and paste, go copy and paste. So that's the important the importance of canned responses or templates. Then we have professional email structure. With for that, it's making sure that you have the proper format when sending emails. You always send subjects in your emails. If emails don't have subjects, it's not proper. So your subject should always be clear, your subject should always be concise. Also, you should always greet in your emails. Your emails body should actually give the proper information of what you want to give. There's really no need to um what's the word, to beat about the bush, emails. And finally, signature, always important to have a response, unless like I said it's somebody that you're talking to on WhatsApp, so you don't really have to send a response. But if you're talking to clients, it's always important to maybe drop a link to your WhatsApp or drop a link to your website so that they can reach out to you immediately in case they want to. And then, I'm sorry about that. And then we have snooze and schedule send features. So the schedule feature, you can just maybe you say, okay, today I just want to focus on sending emails. And so you write out with the help of the AI I showed you, you write out 15 emails that you want to send in the course of 15 days. You can schedule all of them. So you schedule this one for tomorrow, schedule that one for next tomorrow. You can schedule all all 15 emails, and you never have to go back to them again. Automatically the email goes, right? Also, you can also delay responses too when appropriate. So these are the beautiful features of Gmail. Try and go around it. I always say it. Someone can talk and talk, but the only way it's actually going to stick into the learner is by action, by actually working around these apps. So there are also some tools that I'll talk to you about that you can go around to. You just walk around them because I love telling people about tools. So you can check out Boomerang. You can also check out MailTrack, and Boomerang is for automatically sending follow-up emails or reminders. The MailTrack is for tracking to see if people are actually opening your emails. And then Grammarly is to ensure that your tone is professional and your spellings are correct, because those are really important as well. So that's that for time management. Now let's walk to delegation and workload management. Now, being productive does not mean that you have to do everything yourself, right? High performing virtual assistants that work for several clients and whatnot, they know when to delegate and manage multiple tasks without compromising quality. Oh, very important. You have to make sure that whoever you're delegating tasks to has to excuse me, whoever you're delegating tasks to has to be competent, right? And that's why I say it's better to delegate your tasks to a tool than sometimes to a person, because number one, you might be paying the person a lot more than you pay for a tool that you're going to have access to for maybe a month or a year. And then it's more reliable because these are automated, right? So I'm going to tell you some tools that you can use. One second, please. All right, so I'll tell you some tools that you can use to delegate your workload, to reduce your workload, right? Number one, we have Google Sheets. Now, Google Sheets, you can use Google Sheets for your task tracker, and these tools are also free, so you don't have to pay for them, right? So, number one, Google Sheets, you can use Google Sheets for your tax tracker. So you write out all your tasks, and then the ones that are done, you delete them. The ones that are not done, you leave them there. And that way you're able to track your progress, right? And then we have structure. Oh, excuse me. In Google Sheets, the structure is you use columns for different things, right? So maybe for your tax tracker, you have a column for the name of the task, the priority, the assigned, when assigned, the due date. That way you can be looking at all the due dates and knowing the ones that are most important to do because the due dates are nearer, right? Then application, you can also share that sheet with the people you're working for so that they can also see where the tasks are. And then the benefit is it helps everybody see the tax in real time, right? and that way you're able to avoid job responsibilities. Now, job responsibilities are people know what they're supposed to do, but they just don't, right? So try and use Google Sheets to create task trackers, and that way it helps you with tax tracking. Then we have ClickUp. ClickUp is like a vision board. I'm sure we all know what a vision board is. It helps with documentation. It's also for charts. It's like the board you see in the office that has like announcements and all that. So it's very suitable for VAs that are managing multiple clients and working on different projects at the same time. You should check it out. It's called ClickUp. Just walk around it. Then Trello or Asana are project management boards where you write down all your tasks, or you have task cards where you write down everything you have to do, and it has checklists, it has due dates, it has file attachments for completed projects. There's collaboration so that other people can see it as well. So if you notice, all these tools I'm telling you about, as much as they're free, they also encourage collaboration so that you don't have to send the document all the time. All you have to do is send the link, or like Christiana said, send it to their email, and they can always see the document from their end, right? Then there's another app. It's called Toggle Track. So Toggle Track is basically to help you with pricing, like finances, help you with calculations, with billings, and to know if you're making profits or losses in your business, right? So remember, delegation is not giving away your responsibilities. As long as you're prompting correctly, as long as you make sure your dates are correct, your prompts are correct, your content is correct, just and also making sure that you're using the proper channels, like these ones I've talked about now. They are going to help you to reduce a lot of your workload, right? Delegation is not giving away your responsibilities. It is creating space to focus on what is more important. That is what you should always have in the back of your head. So the more systemized your workflow becomes, the easier and the more productive you become. And the more productive you become, the more dependable you become as well. So that brings us to the end of our class today. I am happy that at least I made it before 4 p.m., like I promised. So, as usual, I'm going to drop your assignments for the week on the group. So, you can just check it out on the group, and try to get it done and sent in by Sunday. I'm already expecting to get the assignments that you were supposed to send in last week. Just send me the links and I will go through them. So bear in mind that this new week is not just for learning digital tools, it's about building systems that support your growth, systems that help you automate your tasks, that help you delegate your tasks so that you can focus on other things. Okay. These tools help you stay organized, they help you work professionally, and they most importantly, they help you exceed the client's expectation. Because the only thing that makes you a preferable or a better virtual assistant is that you are exceeding the client's expectation. So that brings us to the end of our class today. If you have any questions, you have any challenges, just ask on our group. For people that are not able to join, although I can see that everyone is here, but for people that aren't able to join, the replay is going to be on the page, right? And it's only going to be hidden after the end of your boot camp. So, yeah, so enjoy the rest of your evening and thank you for joining our class. Bye, guys.